Hello, hello, crafty peeps. Welcome back to my channel, Crafty-ish Kristyn. Today it is time for a WIP and Chatty Rant. What is a WIP and Chatty Rant? You may be asking yourself. WIP, W-I-P, stands for work in progress, and a Chatty Rant is me chatting and ranting about the goings-on over the past week or so. And it's been about 2.5, almost 3 weeks since our last one. So there's a lot. What am I working on? This is Pink Clouds. This is by the artist Becky Cass, and this is from Orloa. It is a round drill kit, 65 centimeters by 65 centimeters. There are only 24 colors in this kit, and there is a ton of color blocking. A ton. I did this section in practically no time at all. It was nice, but I did notice, which when you have big areas of color blocking can be kind of annoying, I couldn't put more than 4 round drills down before I noticed they were not quite covering the round symbol. So I don't know if it's the factor that the drills are too small for the grid or the grid is just a little bit too big. But if I use my 10 placer and I put 10 drills down, I have to straighten and pull the majority of them into their spots. So like a 10 drill section, right? Like right here, the drills would be covering 9.5 circles. Yeah, so that's frustrating. That is very frustrating, in my opinion. I can see some areas on the canvas where I can see some of the, what do you call it? Like the number underneath the symbol, you know, like here's H that I apparently didn't cover up. Definitely in this green section, I noticed it more because there's chunkier bits of the green. Again, it's not a deterrent, but it is something that drives me insane when your spacing and, you know, it doesn't line up because you want it to kind of be a mindless activity, if that makes sense. Anyways, it's not going to deter me from completing the canvas, but it is something that I have noticed. So I feel like I'm trying to stretch the drills, but even then it's just, yeah, it is what it is. You'll probably see me straightening my drills as I go. Also, I have, this is Dollar Tree washi tape that's probably 6 years old and it does not stick well. I need to stop using the Dollar Tree washi, but my brain wants me to use it up, but then I regret using it. So, yeah. Duncan is sitting on my canvas. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. I do have my Bees Crafty Corner release papers in a variety of colors and styles and themes. Notably, we have pink and black right here. We have Sweet Treats Pippy with Duncan and Sharky. And up here, we have some Spilling the Tea. Oh, also Duncan is sitting on Mushy's face right here. Her dark and creepy diamond painting one. Yeah. Oh. I can't help it if he wants to sit on your face. I'm sorry. I am using my pink and black pen from ZAP Designs on Facebook. Love, love, love this pen. I am using my test model Ephemera 3D. This is the Deep 6 tray, and it is a washi bottom tray that they are working on. Love it. It needs to come out immediately because I will buy like 5 more. And I also have my little nail saving opening tool, also from Ephemera 3D, still in the testing phase. We'll definitely put a link below when they have them for sale. Love it. I did just actually open up my sparkling water can with it because I couldn't get my flimsy nail under the ring. Yeah, fantastic. I do have my drills right here in a mixture of square Tic Tacs and smaller Elizabeth Ward containers. And what else? Oh, and I have my Reid's putty in my pen. Collab putties coming soon, coming soon, coming soon. I know you guys have been asking. I know. This is the Crafty-ish Kristyn collab. Obviously the superior one because look at the colors and that adorable unicorn. The collab is with Reid's Putty and Tammy and Brandon's Resin Creations. I think I got that right. If I didn't, I will make sure I correct myself. And that's the adorable one. And this is the terrifying one. Don't be scared. We got a skull cover minder in here and then some mask putties. Yes. So, but before I zoom in and do that, I did need to open something. I did get a package from Mushy over at Dark and Creepy Diamond Painting. I will link her channel below. Maybe I will, maybe I won't, depending on what is in this box. And if you watched the last Spilling the Tea, I did open up a little package, but this is part 2 of that package. And it says, "Dear Kristyn, congratulations. You've officially scarred me for life. Your canvas swap is coming back to you in not 1, but 2 packages, because of course a single box couldn't contain the full emotional damage of that wretched cat." I cannot believe she would say that about Princess Empress Floofy Pants of Persia. Yeah, I can't believe that. In the first package, you'll find the cursed creature itself. I think that's what that is in my box. Hopefully still contained and not hissing through the box. In the second, I've included your release papers, washi tape, and a little something extra to either soothe your soul or fuel your chaos. I'll let you decide. She did send the Care Bear washi back, but she used a lot of it. I think she used it for personal use myself. And some of my release papers and a little a cover minder. Yeah, you'll have to watch Spilling the Tea. I'm not going to go into what that was. But I swear on my diamond trays and my last remaining shred of sanity, if you ever send me another kitten canvas, I will send you a glitter bomb so intense it'll haunt you for years. Consider this your one and only warning. Thanks for the trauma. Can't wait to do this again. With all the love and none of the felines, Mushmallow. Well, that was special. That was special. I think she secretly liked that cat canvas myself. I really do. And if we ever do another canvas swap, obviously she doesn't want another cat. Yeah, interesting. So I am going to open this package. I cannot believe Duncan didn't stay on the table for this, because this is plastic right here. This is plastic. Okay. Pause while I unwrap. That's better. Oh, goodness gracious. I can't believe she didn't want this canvas. It's so majestic. Look at it. Ugh. Magical. Absolutely magical. It's okay, sweetie. It's okay. And look, she even washi taped the sides for me, and I think she repurposed or used up some more of my Care Bear washi to put along the outside, although she did not take care with the edges. For shame, for shame. It's fine. Well, this is going to get a special place in my house because I know it was completed with love. Yes, she loved doing this, even though she said she didn't. Probably just as much as I loved doing Lovable Larry. Yeah. So, I'm going to put my new friend somewhere safe, and then I will zoom in and we will get started. Don't go anywhere. Oh, and she put in some knives. Thanks for that. Thanks for that. Yeah, great. Any other hidden surprises? Now I'm scared. No. Well, then I guess my cat can protect herself. Thanks. Alrighty, let's do the darker kind of outline first. First. Before I forget, I hope everybody is doing awesome, well, and amazing. And if you are not, I hope things get better soon, because you are awesome and you can do hard things, friend. Yes, yes, you can. We all can. We might not think we can, but if you're still here, you've made it through 100% of your worst days. Let's see, diamond painting updates. I finished Momoa Vampire from Rokari. It turned out that one's got a curvy butt. My goodness. I think it turned out good. The only part of it I am not too sure about is the mouth and the teeth. The mouth and the eyes. They are a very, very bright red. And just, I don't know. I don't know about that. But maybe I'm also trying to think of it as like, I don't want to imagine Jason Momoa looking super evil. But I didn't have any issues with that canvas. It went very quickly. The drills the round drills, because that was my first round drill kit from Rokari I've done. I did not have the problem with the round drills that I'm having on this one, where I feel like I'm constantly pushing the drills kind of where I feel like they need to go. So that was a plus. I feel like the spacing on the grid and everything was really good. Which sometimes, you know, that can make or break a canvas for you. And I finished Life is Sweet, and that is from Ever After Diamonds, and I did get that one as a sneak peek when they first opened. So honored to be even considered for something with that great of a magnitude, right? And it did take me a little bit to do it, you know, because I got a jillion projects, but I did finish it, and I will be filming a post review very, very, very soon, probably today, but that will be out probably next week. And I did not have any issues. The only thing that I noticed was the grid was really tight. So if you had a diamond with a tab on the side or something, then you could have had some popping drills, because there was not much room for any wiggling. But I have rollered it, and I've, you know, moved it around and bent it, and I have not had any drills pop off. So that is amazing. It looks super, super, super cute, which, you know, is my favorite, obviously. And yeah, so I finished those two canvases, and they didn't have a lot left on them. So usually when I hit about 2 rows left of a canvas, like 2 release paper rows, then my brain is like, nope, getting it done. And I don't swap out the canvas and work on something else. And that is currently what I am doing. Not with this canvas, obviously, because I just finished it. I mean, I just started it. I didn't just finish it. Psh. I think this canvas would not take very long to finish, I will say, if you were just working on this. But Luann, the Diamond Art Studio UK canvas, I have 2 release paper rows on that. So that is currently on the easel. And so I am hoping to finish that one soon as well. And then I did ask in my Facebook group, I don't even know how long it was. I think it was maybe a week or 2 ago. Which canvas should I work on next for a square canvas? And I gave a few options, and the landslide winner, which I kind of thought it would be, but, you know, wanted to ask, was Nightfall from Cat Fedora, and that kit is from Minwax. So I will also be kitting up that gorgeous canvas very, very, very soon. I currently have no children home right now. What? So I'm trying to film some stuff. So hopefully the battery on the phone lasts long enough for me to do 2 videos today. That is my goal, is 2 videos today. Also, Mushy and I did release the latest Spilling the Tea episode. And that is our, what we like to call, dysfunctional talk show, where we chat about, you know, things that maybe we've seen in the community, or things that we've experienced personally, or things that other people have maybe brought up or asked about. And I'm not going to say what was discussed towards the end of the video, but if you haven't watched it, I recommend it, because there was a little challenge issued, if you will. And it would be, you know, I think it would be in somebody's best interest to listen to what we're asking, and you know, maybe go and give some creators some love. So I will link the Spilling the Tea video and playlist down in the description box as well. That description box is going to be chunky with information this week. Yes, it will. I honestly don't know what I discussed in my last video, and I could have went back and listened, but I don't got time for that. So don't think I'll be repeating myself, since it's been probably at least 2 weeks. We did have a little family vacay to the ocean, and we say we're going to the ocean, right? And somebody brought this up, and you know, I never even really thought about it. You know, I just say we're going to the ocean. It's not that I'm staying in the ocean, you know, we're staying in a town on the ocean, but I've always just said we're going to the ocean. We're staying at the ocean. Instead of saying we're going to the beach, or we're going to, you know, insert town name here, which I don't know. How do you say that when you're going on vacation? Do you say we're going to the beach, we're going to the ocean, we're going to the coastal town of something or other? I would love to know, because I didn't think it was weird, and then I was like, is that weird? Maybe it is weird. But anyway, so if I say we went to the ocean, please no, I'm not, I didn't stay there. I didn't stay in the ocean. No, too cold. Washington beaches are no joke. They are hit and miss with the weather. So I would not want to stay in the ocean. Not at all, because it would be way too windy and way too cold. So naturally, as I do, I make lists, because I'm a list maker, and because I am a mom, and I am seemingly the only person in the family that, you know, makes lists and reminds people of what to pack. Yeah, I was busy a few days before leaving, obviously, because who else is going to remember that we need to pack, you know, all the things? And then then you get, oh, did you pack everything? Did you pack the whole house? No, I didn't. I'm sure there's something I forgot. But if I don't overpack and I underpack, then I always regret it. But I regret it when I overpack and it looks like we're moving in somewhere for a month, when really we're just going for a few days. Yeah. There's no happy medium. There is no happy medium when it comes to packing and going places. I don't know why I'm always shocked too about how much thinking and prepping and stuff goes into leaving for a few days. Like, I don't know, man. Is it worth it? There are times when I think no, it's not worth the amount of work and effort that it goes into it. But, you know, trying to do things, make memories, all the stuff. So I do it. I make the lists. I hound everybody to say, hey, did you pack this? Are you sure you packed this? Did you really pack enough underwear? Spoiler, nobody ever packs enough underwear except for me. And did you bring a coat? Did you bring a sweatshirt? Did you pack this? And, you know, most times, even though somebody says they brought something, they didn't. They didn't. And where we stay, it's not like there's a Walmart, you know, 5 minutes away. So if you do forget something of actual importance, you're gonna be waiting, you know. Okay, oh dang it, how did I do that? They do have a Dollar General by the town that we stay in, but they were overrun with 4th of July people and the various things that they do in the town for summer. And apparently they did not get their load, you know, their order. So usually we go and we get snacks and stuff. Yeah, they had barely anything. I was like, well, that's unfortunate. Good thing I overpacked with snacks and beverages. See, telling you. It pays off sometimes. So, the day before we were leaving I think it was Sunday. I was in my slightly frantic and chaotic packing frenzy. I have my list, going around the house, grabbing stuff, putting stuff away, doing this, doing that. And I was looking for you know, you have those blankets that are, like I think they're called they're picnic blankets, but they kind of roll up and they kind of have a waterproof side. I like to bring those to the beach with us because, number one, I'm always cold, and it's nice to have something that is waterproof in case somebody gets on the blanket with water. Yeah. So I was looking for those. I'm stomping around. I'm looking in a cupboard upstairs, and it's like a hall closet, but it has 2 doors. There's an upper and a lower. Well, and I know better. I opened up the top one, and I'm looking, and I'm getting all flustered because I can't find the things I'm looking for. And I leave the cupboard door open, and I get on the floor, and I'm digging through that cupboard, and I was very annoyed because I couldn't find the blanket. And I stood up very quickly, and I bashed my head into the open closet cabinet door. Yeah. And it's been a while since I've cried when I hurt myself, but I could not control the tears. It hurt so bad. I just burst into tears. The tears were flowing. I think I may have even yelled, you know, like, oh my gosh, something. So here I am in the upstairs hall, crying because I bashed my skull, feeling my head to make sure, you know, I'm not bleeding, obviously. And the hall closet is literally in between the kids' rooms. And they're both in their rooms. So finally, one of them comes out and they're like, are you okay? It's like, no, I'm laying on the floor crying hysterically. No, I'm not okay. I was like, I don't know, am I bleeding? Oh, they checked me out. And then, of course, my husband was out in the garage looking for something. And he comes in and he's like, what the F are you doing? And I was like, I was looking for something. And so I had to go for a little rest on the couch, put some ice on my head, had a nice big bump. And turns out later I discovered that I had in fact cut my skull a little bit. There was a little scratch with a little dried up blood. I was like, well, that's great. But you know, no concussion or going to the doctor or anything like that. But I mean, it was kind of embarrassing. But oh my gosh, whew, that was some pain. So then when you rattle your brain around in your head because you're trying to frantically pack, then I started getting a little headache. And I thought, oh great, now I get to pack and I get to have a headache? Oh, my lucky day. My lucky day. So luckily some ibuprofens took care of that, thank goodness. But it definitely made driving to the ocean the next day not enjoyable. Because unfortunately I have to drive because I'm a backseat driver and I get car sick. So I was not feeling the best after the 2.5 hour car ride through stop and go traffic and everything. Yeah, it was not fun. It was not a fun drive. And I swear, I feel like every time I drive on this particular freeway, I feel like the people around me are auditioning for a Hollywood movie. Just the amount of people weaving and bobbing and driving like, I don't know, they're being chased by the cops or something. I just don't get it. I do not get it. And then I feel like maybe I'm at that age now where everybody looks young, like younger than they are, or maybe I like that person looks like they're 12, but they're really 20 something. I don't know. I swear I was like, that person has to be at least like 14 years old and they're driving a giant car. And my husband's like, no, you just think everybody looks young. I'm like, yeah, I do, but that was not a fun drive. And then of course, everybody else is sitting there watching something or staring at their cell phone while I'm white knuckle driving, trying to get my family to the coast safely, and of course, oh my gosh, never fails. Again, mom thing, parent thing, tell everybody before we leave, make sure you pee. Make sure you pee. Make sure you pee. What do you need to do before we leave? Go in the bathroom. I don't have to pee. I don't give a flying donkey tail if you think you have to pee or not. Please just go and try. Just try to squeeze a little out. That's all I ask. And the teenager, he knows not to argue. He just like, yeah, fine. Sassy lassie, oh, that girl. I don't have to go. I'm like, if anyone is going to have to stop and use some gross bathroom, it's going to be you. I don't have to go. So then she'll go in the bathroom like 5 seconds. I tried. I didn't have to go. Yeah. Guess who had to pee? And we were not near, a nice, I say nice fast food restaurant. Are there any fast food restaurants that are nice? I don't know. Yeah. So that was fun. We had to stop at this grocery store. And I'm like, I always feel bad when I go into somewhere and I know that I'm not buying anything. I'm literally there just to use the bathroom. But so yeah, so I'm like pretending to look around and I'm like, oh hey, where's the bathroom? And they point to the back of the store. Yeah, she was not happy she had to go there. She's like, the toilet would look like it was about to fall off the wall. I was like, I'm sorry. That's because you need to pee before you leave the house. So yeah, only one stop, which is a win. I'll take it. And yeah, we got to our destination and unpack and do all those things like you do. Overall, it was a very chill trip. There's not a ton to do where we go. You can go to the beach, but the problem is, Washington beaches, there's no guarantee the beach is going to be nice. It's not a go and sunbathe and, go into the tropical waters. No. Most times it's overcast, windy, and just kind of cold. And unfortunately, the time we were down there, it was very chilly. Not much sun to be had, which, is okay as long as you're not freezing to death. we did go to the one beach that we normally go to, and I am more of a, if I'm going to the beach person, like I don't really want to go and explore. I like to just kind of sit there, listen to the waves, watch the people, that kind of thing. And teenager is like that too. Sassy Lassie and the husband, they are more, let's go look for rocks and shells, which is fine. You know, we all have different things that we like to do when we go places. It was a little chilly, and so we did not bring the blanket that I so painstakingly looked for, because we were like, well, I don't think we're going to want to stay long enough to really set up camp today. So we just went to go look for shells and whatnot, which again is not really my favorite thing to do because I don't really want to be bending over, and you know, I always feel like people are going to stare at my butt if I'm bending over, and there's always that one dog that just like, people are like, oh, my dog's friendly. It's like, I don't care. I don't want your dog sniffing my kibbles and bits, you know, just, but it was all right. Sassy Lassie found some good shells, and we found, oh my gosh, there was a crab on the beach, and we thought the crab was dead, right? We thought it was dead because it was not moving. It was not doing anything. You know, we kind of poked at it, and because we were going to put it back in the water because it was on the beach. And I was like, I don't know. I think it's dead. And so Sassy Lassie accidentally, she was walking and she stepped on the crab. Well, the crab's legs started to move, but part of the crab's shell had been, you know, crushed. So then, you know, we had a moment where she was panicking because now she was a murderer, a crab murderer. She kept using that word. I'm murdered the crab. I was like, you've got to stop screaming that you're a murderer, okay? No, not good to do. So we had a little freak out about that. Yeah, I'm like, it's fine. You know, I'm sure he was on his last life anyway. Maybe he came out of the water because he was ready to, you know, go visit his crab family in heaven. I don't know. I don't know if crabs go to heaven. I'm going to say they do. Yeah, that was not fun. It's like, oh, geez. No, thank you. Like, you're not, I promise you, you're not a crab murderer. You didn't do it on purpose. It was an accident. Well, and because we went right after 4th of July, the hotel was pretty much empty, which was amazing. But I felt, you know how you go to a restaurant and they put everybody in the same section? So let's say you're on a date or something, and they put you next to the family with the toddlers who are throwing food and like a screaming baby, or, you know, the loud drunk guy, and you're like, why are you putting us all in the same area? Like, I don't want to be around these people. I'm quiet and I'm well behaved. I swear, that is what the hotel did. The hotel was practically empty. I mean, practically empty. There were very, very, very few cars. I saw maybe 4 cars in the parking lot from where I could see. So why is it? Why? That we had somebody in the room right next to us. Why? And if you're new here, I don't sleep well. In general, I don't sleep well in my own bed, let alone in a hotel. So we trying to go to bed, right? As one does, because we're tired, and my head was throbbing, and, you know, the driving and all of that. And, you know, we had watched some TV and the kids were playing video games, whatnot. And I'm like, well, we don't have to get up early, so whatever. So it's about, I'm going to say 11. We go in the little bedroom area, and I walk in the room and I can hear the person in the room next to us snoring through the wall. Now, it's an old hotel, so the walls are paper thin. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? Come on. Like, there's nobody else on this floor. Why? So I did end up sleeping on the couch. I was like, there's no way. There's no way I'm going to be able to sleep through that. There's no way. And I didn't. So I slept on the couch. That was fun. One of the children decided to sleep talk and call for me. So naturally, you jump up in a panic. What? And then you just hear muttering and no actual, coherent words come out. And it's like, well, thanks. I was almost asleep and I jumped up and now I'm wide awake because I have that parent panic of something's wrong with my kid. They're calling for me in a hotel. Yeah. That was fun. The good thing about the hotel being almost empty is that the pool was pretty much empty every time we went down there. And since it was raining, there was a lot of pool time. I will say, big thumbs up to the teenager for, he did not want to be in the pool as long as his sister did. But he stayed in there for her sake. He was having fun, don't get me wrong. But after hour 1.5, you kind of get it like, okay, I'm done. But he stuck it out. I think they went in the pool, oh my gosh. We were there 3 days. They went in the pool every single day, except for the day we left. Because I was like, nope. We need to get on the road. I don't need you guys being all like wet and soggy and whatnot. Yeah, lots of pool time. And this is going to sound awful, and I'm not trying to sound awful, but like, does anyone else kind of feel like, I don't know, I don't want to say better. I can't think of a good word, but you feel maybe like a kinship with other parents when someone else is like dealing with their kid not listening, or they have to ask their kid to do something 5 or 6 times. You kind of like, there should be some kind of like hand gesture that like, I see you, I understand, I was just dealing with that 5 minutes ago. There was another family in the pool, and they had two kids, and one was already out of the pool because I think he was probably done. But the mom was trying to get his attention, but the pool room is so loud and echoey that it's hard to hear, it's hard to get somebody's attention, and it's hard to understand what the heck they're even saying. So she was trying to get his attention so he could move something so we had room to sit. And, so she's trying to get his attention, but also paying attention to her other child that was in the pool. We're just kind of like, don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. We are chill. We are not the people that are going to be like, oh my gosh, why is your son's sweatshirt right there? No. So it was nice to see another parent asking their kid not to do something, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times in a row. Yeah, it was nice. We all suffer together. And I don't know if anyone else, I swear, it's like, I want my kids to have fun in the water, be safe, have fun, obviously. But why is it when they start coughing, because they're, ingesting pool water, like it's going up their nose, it's going in their mouth, etc. Why is it then it almost looks like they're about to put their face back in the water? Example. Sassy Lassie likes to kind of do somersaults and, touch the bottom of the pool, come back up, etc., etc. Well, she breathed in some water, as one does, and was, coughing and sputtering, and, we kept saying, take a break, take a little breather, get your breath back before you start going back under the water. And she would lay back her head, and to the point where she's laying on the back, on her back, with her mouth wide open, and her mouth is getting really close to the water. We're like, you're getting water in your mouth and you were just coughing. Just stop for 5 seconds. But no, she knows everything. So, we know nothing. And then the teenager started jumping. He jumped in and he was breathing it in and he was coughing. And then they both just go back in the water, even though they're still coughing. I was like, what is wrong with you people? Just seriously. I don't remember if I was that stubborn when I was their age. I probably was. But I also know I was not a fan of ingesting pool water because, number one, it tasted disgusting. And number two, you could smell the chlorine and all the chemicals in the water. And we kept saying, can you not drink the chemicals in the pool, please? Just wait a few seconds, catch your breath. Your face is still bright red from the coughing, choking fit you just had. But no, parents are stupid. They don't know anything. We are just dum-dums. That is one thing. Oh, we got home. Oh my gosh. Anyone else, just when you get home, you feel like you're living in the lap of luxury because you have your own blankets and your own pillows and your own mattress. Oh my gosh. I wanted to cry when I got back into my bed when we got home. Oh, because it was my own sheets and my own soft but firm pillow, and all the hotel stuff, because they have a pool, and people mix up regular towels with pool towels, and so I'm sure the stuff from the pool gets washed with the bedding and stuff. Every single pillowcase I tried using, it just reeked like chlorine, to the point where I was like, this is so gross. I can't do it. I can't sleep on this pillow. But I mean, you would take the pillowcase off and not use a pillowcase. Oh my gosh. That would be even grosser, in my opinion. And poor Sassy Lassie, she had a bug bite. She had several bug bites. I don't know what. Her blood must have just been extra, extra tasty. But she had one under her eye. She had one on her, it almost looked like a beauty mark, that like a famous movie star would, draw onto their face. And then she had one on her neck. And so she was trying not to itch them. And I brought the Benadryl, I brought the, cream and all that stuff. But the one under her eye, it almost looked like she got hit in the eye. 2 days afterwards, it was just, it looked so bad. I was like, people are going to think that you got into a brawl or something. But, poor thing. I don't really get bug bites. She's kind of the only one that really does in the family. And then, we went to town, and they have the little shops and whatnot. I mean, there aren't that many shops, honestly. And it's a lot of the same old. But I swear, my kids, it's not that big of an area, right? So you walk from one end, you walk down to the other of the marina area. But it's a very dog-friendly place. Please tell me I don't have the only children that literally want to touch every single dog known to mankind. It's like collecting Pokemon cards, but touching dogs. They gotta touch them all. It's like, could we not touch any more dogs, please? So here I am with the hand sanitizer, because I don't know these people. I'm not saying their dogs are dirty, but I don't know them. And I'm with the bug bite on the face and everything. It's like, okay, I don't want you touching your face and rubbing someone's dog germs into your eyes, and just, gross. So yeah, it was an all right trip. I feel like hopefully everybody leaves with more good memories than traumatic ones, right? That's all you can hope for. So, and my mom was holding down the fort here, and she did okay. The cats got fed multiple times. They got all their food, which is good. And we only came home to one little pile of cat puke. So I consider that a win. And it was on the hardwoods, which is even better. So it wasn't even on the carpet. And my mom can't really see well enough to clean up the little spot. She probably thought it was a cat toy. Honestly, it was not very big. I feel like the cats always leave one little present for us when we get back. I don't know if they're just mad at us because, you know, they don't have anybody to sleep with at night, so they're sad, and that's their way of showing us that they're mad at us. I don't know. But they got all their food, they got watered, they got treats. They were so clingy when we got back. Oh my goodness. They always are. But they were excited that we were home. I think so. I mean, they can't talk, but pretty sure they were glad we were home. And I was glad too, because I got to sleep in my own bed, and I got to sleep with my own cat all curled up next to me. Yep. And of course, while we were gone, I get phone calls from various doctor appointments and whatnot. I'm just, ugh. So I have one doctor for a night guard. For some reason, the insurance is not covering it, even though it's covered. So they said, you have to call the insurance company and ask them why they're not covering it, and then they'll cover it. I was like, what? She said, I know it sounds dumb, but unfortunately with that insurance, for some reason, that's what people have to do. I was like, great. Let me just add that to my freaking to-do list. Okay, great. So that's on my list. Then we're trying to sort out this whole situation for my mom. We had to go see the, what is it called? The rheumatologist. Because her bones are not, her bone scan did not come back in the manner they wanted it to. And so she wants her to take this prescription called Forteo. It's an injectable medicine. And the way she described it, and I could butcher this description, was that it's one of the only medicines that can actually help your bones regrow some of the stuff inside of them that it needs, right? And so that is like the number one medication that they recommend. Well. She said it could take 4 months for the insurance to approve it. And I was like, oh, geez, okay. So imagine my surprise when the pharmacy calls later that day and says, we have a prescription for your mom. I was like, what? And she said, yeah, but it's really expensive. And I said, well, how expensive is it? $700. And I said, is that a 3-month supply? And she said, nope, it is not. And I said, oh, well, I won't be picking that up then. And she goes, well, we didn't order it. She goes, we just got the prescription and we ran it through insurance and we wanted to ask before we filled it. And I said, well, thank you, because no, that's a little pricey. So then I had to play the messaging game with the doctor's office saying, yeah, they say it's for $700. So she sends me a link for this assistance program. Well, there's a problem with that because there's a lot of rules involved with the assistance program. And because my mom has Medicare and supplemental insurance, she does not qualify for this assistance program. So I messaged the doctor and I said, should I still apply even though she has Medicare? Because I don't want to be getting myself in trouble, Okay, well, maybe you should try calling the assistance program. Like, fine, you know. So I look at the paper, I look at the website, and there's a thing that says, oh, if you don't qualify for this, try this. And I said, okay, great. So I click on this other thing, and it's from the drug manufacturer. And I said, oh, great. Okay. So I'm clicking on the stuff, and it says, if you have government health care, then you don't qualify. I'm like, okay. So because my mom has the thing you're supposed to have, which is health care, right? Because I'm pretty sure it's against the law, or you get fined if you don't have health insurance. So she's doing what she's supposed to do, and this is disqualifying her from assistance. Okay. So who the hell is the assistance for is what I want to know. Because seemingly it's not for the people who are doing what they're supposed to do. So this one says, if you don't qualify, try this instead. And I said, okay, great. So I click on this other thing, and it says you can have Medicare. I'm like, oh, sweet. Great. Fan-freaking-tastic. Let's go. And I start putting in, not her personal information, because that scares me a little. There's so many scams out there. And it's just asking some basic questions like, how old are you? I forget. There were a few other things. And then it said, what's your annual household income? And she lives with us, but it looked like the annual household income would just be asking for her income. And I put in her income, and the little thing wouldn't let me click request quote. I was like, well, that's weird. So I lowered the amount that it said she made, and it still was grayed out. And I lowered it again, and I lowered it again, and I lowered it again to freaking zero. Like, she makes $0. Oh, and then it was like, oh, hey, yeah, you qualify. So, again, I'm like, the tax-paying person who was responsible with their money and, can't qualify for help. That's just fan-freaking-tastic. Thank you for this. I don't understand. And the fact that all this paperwork and all these things were saying that if you qualify, you can get this medicine for $0. How is that fair? That for one person, a medication is going to be $0, and for another person, it's going to be $700 for a 28-day supply. Not even a 30-day supply. No. 28 days. I'm like, what? So, let's just say the language was very colorful coming out of my mouth hole. And I did post in my Facebook group, just being like, oh my gosh. And some people did recommend to look at Good RX. So that's on the list. But I'm a little angry right now. I'm a little frustrated. And so I need to be in the right mindset to have to work that hard to just make it so my mom doesn't literally waste her retirement on $700 a month medication for one medication. It's sad. It's absolutely sad. And this is why, like I told my husband, I said, this is why people don't go to the doctor. This is why people don't follow through with what doctors tell them to do, because you should not have to work this hard to get a medication that's supposed to help, make it so your bones don't snap like twigs, right? Because in my mind, it would cost the insurance company a heck of a lot more if she tripped and her brittle bones, because she didn't have this expensive medication, caused her to have to go to the hospital, and stay in a care facility and all that stuff. I'm sure there's some kind of, we work with this company and so we get a better deal. I'm sure there's so much behind the scenes crap that my brain could not even understand. It's just frustrating. It's very frustrating. And if somebody doesn't have somebody to advocate for them, then, people would just give up. They would just literally give up and be like, forget it. I'm not working that hard. Oh, yeah. That's been my behind the scenes things that I'm trying to do, but every time I think I'm like, ooh, look at this. Maybe I can figure this out. Then I just get another smack to the face of, nope, that's not going to work for you. It might work for somebody else, but not for you. It very much reminds me of my mom. She needed to have something done. I cannot remember exactly. And I had to find somewhere she could go where they allowed oxygen, because at the time her COPD was kind of bad, and so she would have to have her little portable oxygen tank. And so many of these places you couldn't have oxygen, and I was like, you're almost like a healthcare place. How do you not have the capacity to have people with oxygen at your facility? That makes no sense. And also then there was another time where I needed to find something, and they would say, oh, well, we take Medicare, but we don't take the supplemental insurance. So because you have the supplemental insurance, you can't come. Like, well, just don't charge it. They're like, nope, it doesn't matter. Or maybe it was she had supplemental insurance, but she also had Medicare. I don't know. Like the amount of hoops we got to jump through, and I heard from other people in other countries that, the free healthcare or the privatized healthcare or whatever you call it, is not any better sometimes in other countries, because people have to wait really, really, really long times to, get basic things done, which I feel like for us, that is how, at least where the area we live, how it's going. I mean, if one of my kids gets sick, I can't take them to their regular doctor. If they're sick and I'm worried like they might have bronchitis or strep throat or something, because it would take over a week to get into the doctor's office. So, I mean, I'm incredibly grateful that we have several urgent cares all around us. I mean, like I have... I was looking at the little, online chart, and I was like, yeah, it's been a long time since my kids actually saw their regular doctor, because it's just, what's the point? You can't get in. So, I'll just go to urgent care. It's like, can I just make urgent care my primary care provider? Even though the doctors rotate, I mean, at least I know that they're there and they'll be there when I need to go in. But that's just, I don't know. I would love to know how is the healthcare in your area? Is it amazing? I feel like we have a lot of specialists, and we have a lot of really good healthcare near us. But I feel like some of the everyday stuff, and even some of the specialty stuff, it takes so long to get in, unless you can get a last minute cancellation, which is not always able to do. Okay, see, like these, I'm having to straighten them after I put them down, because doing a row, they don't line up. Like that one, yeah. Like there's too many right there. So I feel like the grid needs to be a little bit tighter. Just a little tighter, or lower, please, please, please. I want to mindlessly place my diamonds and not have to turn my pen around and straighten them. Okay, thanks. I know, they're not listening to me. They don't care about me, but still. Alrighty, I think that is going to be it for me today. Let me zoom out. All right, this is where we've left off. I will say I am enjoying this kit, except for them not lining up nicely and me having to go back and straighten. That's kind of annoying personally. That's one thing about rounds that drives me slightly annoyed up the wall, but we can't have a winner with everything, right? So that is going to be it for me today, guys. If you have not, please consider liking, subscribing, sharing, hearting, farting, doing all the things, and I will see you again very, very soon. Big awkward hugs. Bye, guys. And don't forget to check out episode 6, Spilling the Tea. Challenge has been issued. Will you accept it? Pardon you, friend. Pardon you. You're on my canvas. Hey, look, Tonkin. Look what I can do. It's not just for opening diamond painting containers. Look at that. Oh, well, you got it started. So I don't have to break my nail, okay? Ooh, that tastes weird. That tastes weird. Should have been a Dr. Pepper. Okay. Hello. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. Nope, never mind. I think I got it. Okay. You don't need to try to eat the plastic. Thank you. Work, work, work. We're gonna work over here in this section. Good job. Good job, everybody. Good job.